Ever since its release in 2020, Genshin Impact has been a staple in the gaming industry and became one of the most popular games. However, with 1/3 of the year already passing by, many new players and returning players might be considering or wondering if Genshin Impact is worth playing in 2023. Hey, what's going on guys? It's Johnny and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, let's discuss about Genshin Impact and whether the game is worth investing time into for 2023. The game definitely has a lot more additions ever since its release, which might intrigue a lot of players. Therefore, we'll be discussing the game overall in hopes of helping anyone that might want to join the world of Teyvat as a traveler. Now without any further ado, let's jump right into it. First, let's briefly go over what type of genre Genshin Impact is because I've seen a couple comments stating it was a MMO, which is inaccurate. Genshin Impact is an open-world action RPG that has a gacha system. While the game does offer multiplayer for other players to interact with one another, it is mainly focused on single player, similar to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and should not be mistaken as a MMO, which generally has a large number of players connecting to one server. In the world of Teyvat, every player will embark on a journey as a traveler and be given the choice between two characters, Aether and Lumine, who you can freely choose a different name for, and able to change it anytime because the game does have a user ID system to identify each player. So no need to stress about your favorite names being taken. On your adventure across this massive world, the goal is to find your sibling, which will be the opposite character that the player has chosen. As you start your journey, you meet a trusty companion in Paimon, who will serve as your Teyvat guide and venture alongside you. With Paimon as our guide, we traverse across different regions and meet many new friends. While the Traveler is the main character, every single character we meet will have a lot of involvement or individual story, which makes each encounter special and goes to show how much Hoyoverse cares about their characters. On top of that, they also receive their own character teasers, demos, and basic guide videos, which also have bopping music. Along our adventure, we run into various issues and mysteries that need to be solved before moving on. It goes without saying that Genshin Impact is a very story-driven game, so if you're a player that's interested in story like myself, then this game might be worth checking out. One of my favorite things about the story in Genshin is the plot. Each act had a very good narrative introducing their own issues while also leading us closer to our sibling, and my goodness does it leave you wanting more towards the end, which is exciting because there's still so much story left to uncover. In one of the early Genshin trailers called Chapter Storyline Preview, Travail, it did reveal that there will be at least 6 acts with another mystery one called Conria, which we can expect to be another act. Currently, we're still on Act 3, or what in-game calls it Chapter 3, and should be receiving Chapter 4 later this year, which is something I can't wait for because receiving a new chapter also means a new region, and a new region means exploration. As an open world adventure game, you can expect a pretty large area to explore and only expand bigger with new updates. During your exploration, you'll discover a lot of treasure chests that will contain valuables to help you progress. There's also different types of puzzles and challenges that can test your creative thinking, but solving these will be beneficial because they'll also reward you with more goodies. While traveling, one of the most common ways to get around is with our Wind Glider, which allows players to glide through the skies and really appreciate the open world. You can also climb, swim, zip, or sail the waters of Teyvat with your very own Wave Rider to reach new areas. While adventuring, you'll also encounter various materials that help you ascend your characters to higher levels, but there are also materials and activities that will consume something called resin. The best way to describe resin is thinking of it as energy. When you do certain activities, it'll consume your resin when claiming rewards and will replenish over time. Due to the resin system, it does limit account progression, so you can't reach endgame in a single day. However, these will be an important resource for advancing your account to to clear more content and make your character stronger in combat. Speaking of combat, there's a unique combat system that involves different elements. Into that, there are 7 elements that also represent 7 regions. When combining at least 2 different elements, it can lead to something called an elemental reaction. While not mandatory to utilize, understanding the different types of reactions will be important and come in handy for certain situations. A team will consist of 4 playable characters, and you can build any type of team comp that suits your playstyle, so players will have a variety to choose from. Between these characters, you can freely swap anytime during combat, and a character will have a normal attack along with 2 different abilities, an elemental skill and elemental burst. While there isn't a whole bunch of abilities for one character, managing a party of 4 sort of balances it out, since you'll have to keep track of multiple party members like with their HP, energy level, cooldowns, etc. We mentioned previously that Genshin has a gacha system, and as you probably already guessed, there will be in-game currency called Primogems that are used to pull for characters. There is a pity system to guarantee a 5-star, but will still generally require a decent amount of Primogems to obtain. Now I know there's going to be a lot of questions whether Genshin Impact is going to be FTP friendly or not, and I can say with confidence that it is 100% FTP friendly. Let's take a second to be realistic here. You need to define your definition of FTP friendly, because if you're trying to create content without having to spend money on the game, which is probably most players' definition, then it is possible. I have a main account and a F2P account, and on my F2P account, I was able to clear all of the content that is available. Granted, Genshin isn't insanely hard or difficult because the game is meant to be more casual than anything. One of the hardest challenges that the game offers is the Spiral Abyss, which provides Primogems based on how many stars players are able to achieve. This does reset approximately every 2 weeks, so clearing the Spiral Abyss is gonna be one of the best ways to earn Primogems. It'll of course be challenging for any new player because you'll need to take some time to build up your characters, but after some time, it'll get much easier and eventually won't even require much prepping at all. Now, if you're trying to collect every single character, then that would most likely not happen as a F2P player. The game does offer a variety of ways to earn Primogems without spending, and after doing your daily commissions or participating in events, you'll earn yourself a nifty sum of Primogems even as a F2P. However, without insane RNG on your side, this would unfortunately not be enough because there are a lot of characters available and consistently being added. If you feel obligated to spend though, then that's more of a personal endeavor than say a must. The game does not require you by any means to spend money to win, and there are many examples of F2P players clearing even the most difficult content in the game just fine. Again, all it takes is some time to get you in the right direction, but so does any other game. Since account progression is reliant on time due to the resin system, it might opt players to either log off or wait for their resin to replenish, there are also cool events and features that do not require resin. During your adventures, you'll see no shortage of events that provide awesome rewards like limited time weapons, 4-star characters, Primogems, and more. There are a large variety of different events ranging from hide and seek, rhythm games, tower defense, Pokemon, beating stuff up, and even festivals that come on a yearly basis. Limited time events do come and go though, but there are also perm features that are being developed into the game. One of these features is the Serenity Pot, which basically serves as your very own housing system for players to be creative and design their own realm. Inside this realm, there's also an NPC that has blueprints and different types of furnitures for players to craft and purchase. You also have harvesting abilities like fishing and collecting wood that'll help you customize and craft certain items, which adds to the list of other things to do. One of the newest additions actually is a trading card game called Genius Invocation TCG. This was really cool because Genius Invocation was always mentioned during our adventure, but in one of the recent updates we received, it actually became a real game, and it's honestly really fun. While the mode doesn't have any PvP rankings or anything, which is a bit of a shame, it still allows players to invite one another to face off in this unique trading card game, and if you prefer to play alone, then you can also challenge certain certain NPCs. So it's time to duel! As the game grows, there will definitely be other features, which is exciting to see because it shows that the devs are constantly looking for innovative ways to gain the player's interest, to provide more content outside of the events and everything that we already receive. Overall, if you're looking for a casual game to play that has an amazing story, fantastic and lovable characters, adventure as far as the eye can see, an interesting and unique combat system, etc., then Genshin Impact might just be for you. However, if you're a player that wants to strive for challenge and continuous grind, then you might find some difficulty in Genshin because while the game can be challenging at first as you're building up characters, after a while, it can be pretty chill. In terms of endgame, there isn't much offered and it's mainly only the Spiral Abyss that players may find challenging. The game is again meant to be on the casual side and one that's made for players to go at their own pace without worrying about falling behind. Even as the story continues, enemies don't necessarily get much stronger, so players don't need to feel obligated to progress every day. But if you do want to play every day, then it'll usually only take about 10 to 15 minutes as daily commissions and resin usage are relatively quick. For its success throughout the years, it also received a couple awards like the recent Player's Voice Award for 2022, which is a pretty big deal because this award is purely based on players voting. Due to its massive popularity, Hoyoverse revealed that they would be partnering with Ufotable, who you might know as the studio that worked on Demon Slayer, a well-known and popular series, on a Genshin Impact anime, which is just fantastic. More information will hopefully be revealed on this soon, but they did call it a long-term project and we're not sure if it's gonna have its own story or if it'll follow the original Genshin storyline. But regardless, it's amazing to see one of my favorite games getting its own anime and partner with a successful studio. Now, something important to mention is that Genshin Impact is free to play, so if anything, players can try for themselves and determine if the game is for them. But if none of this convinces you, then hopefully this will. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to also turn on that notification bell so you don't miss on any newly released videos. I've been Johnny D. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one.